So why emails are important? So again, if you think about and you look at the different types of emails that you can actually send out, there are the warm emails, so the newsletters, whether they do have the past patient testimonials or experiences, any research that has come up, latest news, considerations, and also some surgeon findings, or it may be the functional emails. So those reminders that are sent out for the next adjustment, for the next thing that they do need to be doing, or making sure that they are progressing through their journey. And looking at the content that you should be emailing out to them is totally different to what they should be receiving if they are a patient. So some of the content in the different emails that should go out are things like, for a potential patient, why lap band or why weight loss surgery? What are some of the others' experience? What is the clinic and what is the surgeon actually like? What is their experience? How many people have they actually helped to overcome their weight loss challenges? When they are a patient, don't just make sure that they come into the clinic and that's the last piece of communication they get. Do they get a welcome email? Do they actually get an email that details to them what they can expect and what they can expect over their 12-month program? So after their first adjustment or just before their first adjustment, do you send out a communication that says, this is what you should expect for your first adjustment. These are some of the precautions, or these are some of the recommendations that we think that you should be making. What do you feel? What should you actually be eating after that adjustment does happen? The second adjustment, how is that different to the first? What are some of the things that other people have actually experienced? And then the third, the fourth, the fifth, the sixth can be, other things very similar to that. But there does need to be a communication plan, and email is a great way of setting it up once and sending it to many. Why is this relevant? And it is relevant because emails can be a lot more targeted and you can actually give people a lot more information rather than talking to them about it when they do come into the clinic or when they do pick up the phone. What Allergan do have is they do have a My Healthy Living program which takes the people or the patients on the journey and their 12-month journey, what to expect, what things that they can actually be eating, some diets, some recipes, so that at least it enhances and supports what the clinics have been saying. The key to any email or ECRM is the data. And I know that a lot of clinics don't really have a great database, but today is a great day to start. You need to make sure that gone are the days of the paper filing systems for all of your clinic or all of your patient records. There needs to be one central location that all of this information can be sitting. And every touch point you have with one of your patients, make sure that you are going and reviewing the data that you do actually have on file. So one of the ways to check at every touch point is that every phone call, every patient visit, every reminder, you are just making sure and checking that their address, that their phone number, that their email address is exactly the same and hasn't actually changed. The extending the amount of information can be things like their family, who in their family, how many people in their family, how many referrals they've got, what are their goals, where do they want to see themselves in 5, 10, 12 months' time. About patient privacy, and this is a really tricky thing. The National Privacy Principles were introduced a few years ago, which do specifically talk to the way that health and healthcare providers can actually communicate to their patients and also potential patients. It is really important to make sure that you are across them, to make sure that you don't get a fine for overstepping the mark with the communications. They are available as a download next to this webinar, so make sure you go through them. We've highlighted the most important ones that are relevant to you. But one of the things about old data is, and a lot of people do, or a lot of clinics do have old data that they haven't updated for a while, but that's a great opportunity to go, right, if it's old data, let's look at that old data. What are the consistent records and fields that we are collecting about people? Let's put that online, or even if we put it into an Excel spreadsheet so that at least it is there and is easy manipulated. Do they actually want to be communicated via email? Are they happy to receive SMS text reminders? Make sure that all of that is clear and upfront. so that at least there's no pain for them when those communications do come out. Why ECRM and email is important for you is that it is a great conversation starter for lapsed or for patients who haven't been into the clinic for a while. And it also is a good reinforcer for people not always having to pick up the phone or come into the clinic. There is a database marketing webinar coming soon. You will receive email communications around this, but this will go into more details around the privacy principles and also go into the communication process and an ideal journey from new patients all the way through to the existing patients and the communication and the content that they may want to receive at every touch point.